Shota, after 3 years languishing at the bottom of every ranking, if you fail tomorrow's practical exam, expulsion is final.
3 years, and I'll be thrown out like garbage.
Desperate, he slipped into the Academy's discarded armory that night, rummaging through broken blades for a last chance.
This rusted scrap, it's all I have.
As he wiped the grime, a hidden prismatic sheen winked deep within the steel. The exam arena hummed with morning light. Cadets whispered as Shota took his stance with the wretched sword.
I refuse to lose everything. Not now.
The training golem lunged, joints creaking. Shota raised the rusted blade, and the sword answered with a blinding radiance. A towering spectral warrior appeared behind him, hands overlaying Shota's, forcing his body into a perfect duelist stance. The golem shattered. From the sidelines, Mira, Lise, and Rika stared in disbelief as Shota stood, trembling with the glowing sword.
We have waited for an imbecile like you, boy. 1,000 dead legends bound to this blade.
1,000 legends? What do you want from me?
We watched you stumble for 3 years, sick with pity. Now, we will break you and build you anew.
Break me? If that means I won't be expelled, then do your worst.
The ghost master drilled him relentlessly, overlaying Shota's limbs and forcing perfect strokes through brutal repetition.
I can't keep up. My body is screaming. There's no way I can learn this fast.
Stop whining. Your muscles will remember, even if your mind quits. Stand up.
Days blurred into a haze of pain. Then, one dawn, Shota's blade finally arced true from his balcony. Headmaster Voss watched the sparring yards with narrowed eyes. The boy was no longer a failure, and that frightened him. Shota was rising fast, but who would believe 1,000 souls had answered a dead last cadet? Weeks blurred as different hero spirits took their turn, each imprinting a forgotten style into Shota's aching body.
Shota, wait. How exactly did you get this good this fast? You were dead last a month ago.
I found a training method that works. Late nights and repetition. Nothing special.
The weekly ranking sheet told the story. Shota had clawed from 112th to 34th, and whispers turned into open speculation. Headmaster Voss could ignore the gossip no longer. He sent a guard to fetch Shota immediately.
I will not dance around it. Cadet, your technique has transformed overnight. Explain yourself.
I suppose. I finally found a training method that works for me. Late nights, repetition.
Don't insult my intelligence. I've seen prodigies. You are not one. What is that sword you now carry everywhere?
If he touches it, if he discovers the spirits, I am finished.
Be careful, Shota. If I find any trace of forbidden relics in this academy, you will not just be expelled, you will be broken.
The next dawn, Headmaster Voss gathered the Academy Council and ordered a full magical scan of Cadet Shota's equipment.
A magical scan. If they probe the sword, the spirits will be exposed.
We will retreat into the deepest folds of the blade. No spell will detect us. Trust in our silence.
Shota was led into a stone chamber inscribed with blue runes. The headmaster raised his glowing staff. The scanning beam swept over every inch of the rusted blade. No enchantment, no spirit trace, only ancient, mundane steel.
Impossible. The boy's improvement defies all logic. There must be something.
He waved Shota away, but halted him at the door, assigning Cadet Mira to oversee all further training sessions.
Mira, she's the one who believes in me the most. If she gets suspicious...
Looks like we're sparring partners now, Shota. Don't worry, I won't go easy on you.
Forget the Watcher. The regional tournament is your real shield. Win there, and every doubter will be silenced.
The spirits pushed Shota past exhaustion, imprinting reflexes so deep he could parry blindfolded.
You've gotten sharper, Shota. Almost like fighting with someone else's hands.
Do not mistake our gift for your own genius. You are still a vessel.
Vessel or not, I've never felt this strong. Maybe I am becoming someone new.
Among cadets, rumors festered. A hidden master, a dark talisman, or a prodigy's late bloom.
Let them whisper. None can fathom 1,000 souls carving lessons into my bones.
When the tournament roster posted, Shota's name stood among the chosen, no longer a punchline. He arrived at the regional arena under a noon sun, banners snapping, the crowd's roar shaking the stone.
This is the crucible. Falter here, and the headmaster finds his excuse. Shine, and I become untouchable.
Now, let the real battle begin. Hide our light well, or we all burn.
Shota's first opponent charged, and Shota met him with a ghost-guided parry so swift the blade seemed to shimmer.
I didn't even see that block coming. The spirit's training is embedded deeper than I realize.
Round after round, the trash knight carved through the bracket. Whispers shifted from mockery to awe. From the noble's gallery, scouts leaned forward, taking notes. A new name was rising. By the semi-final, Shota faced a wiry cadet who threw sand in his eyes and aimed a low stab.
Cheap trick. But my feet remember the pattern from the spirit of the blind swordsman.
Shota sidestepped, disarmed the cadet with a rolling bind, and the match ended clean.
You leaned too heavily on our reflexes. Without us, you would have been skewered.
In the stands, Headmaster Voss watched, fingers drumming on his staff. The boy was winning, but his movements were too perfect for a once-failed cadet. Shota stood in the final ring, the roar of the crowd deafening. But the headmaster's cold stare cut through it all. The final opponent entered. Cyril of House Bardolph, a towering cadet with a famed family blade that hummed with stored lightning.
Lightning enchantments. One misstep, and I am fried. The spirits need to guide every move.
They clashed in a storm of sparks and spectral whispers. For every lightning thrust, a ghostly counter materialized.
Now, Shota, the fool overextends. Use the step we drilled 1,000 times.
Shota executed a flawless spiral lunge, the blade slipping past Cyril's guard and tapping his throat. The lightning fizzled, the arena erupted. Shota stood, panting, as the laurel wreath was placed on his head and the champion's trophy pressed into his hands.
We did it. The headmaster can't touch me now. I've proven my place.
But the cheers twisted into gasps as a young noblewoman forced through the crowd, her violet eyes locked on Shota's blade.
That sword is the heirloom of House Valdemar. It was stolen 2 centuries ago. Hand it over, cadet.
Shota's glory shattered into silence. The headmaster in the stand smiled coldly, while 1,000 spirits inside the sword stirred uneasily. After the ceremony, Shota pulled Reina into a secluded alcove of the Academy gardens, away from prying ears.
You have no proof. This sword is yours. I found it in the discarded armory. It's mine by right.
House Valdemar has hunted that blade for 2 centuries. Give it up, or my family will reclaim it in blood.
She's serious. But why are the spirits silent? They know something they won't tell me.
Shota reached for the Ghostmaster mentally, but only a heavy, defensive stillness answered from within the blade. When he returned to his dormitory, a sealed letter bearing the Valdemar crest lay on his pillow. Return the stolen sword within 3 days, or House Valdemar will reclaim it by any means necessary.
They plan to attack. I am caught between a noble house's vengeance and 1,000 silent ghosts.
Mira found him staring at the letter, his fist clenched until the paper crumpled.
Shota, what's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. Well, more than usual.
That night, Shota lay sleepless until a shadow peeled from the wall, twin daggers catching the moon through the broken window.
His hand flew to the sword as his mind screamed. The Valdemars didn't even wait 3 days.
The Ghost Master erupted, a spectral arm deflecting the first dagger strike before Shota could cry out.
Move. Let the lessons we drilled into your bones take over.
Shota rolled from the cot, prismatic blade singing to life in his grip, parrying the next flurry of stabs in the cramped dorm. Steel rang against steel, the assassin's precise thrusts meeting ghost-tuned counters. Realizing the kill was lost, the assassin flung a smoke pellet and vanished through the shattered window. Headmaster Voss arrived to find only Shota, panting in the debris, and no trace of the intruder.
This was merely the first test. The sword chooses its master, Shota. It will not be surrendered without blood.
But why won't you tell me why? What is this sword that people are willing to kill for?
A forged message bearing Mira's handwriting drew Shota to the moonlit forest, where 6 cloaked assassins stepped from the shadows.
Too late. This isn't a meeting, it's a kill box.
He drew the prismatic blade, its light severing the dark, but they swarmed, a precise blow slamming his wrist until the sword skittered away. Rough rope bit into his wrists as Reyna strode from the tree line, her violet eyes cold but her hand trembling around a drawn dagger.
I gave you a chance to return it peacefully. You chose blood.
Her voice is ice, but that trembling hand, she doesn't want this.
Listen, boy, the girl is a pawn. Her ancestors stole this blade. The family forces her hand.
Reyna's lip quivered. She lowered the dagger, her order barely a whisper.
Bind him. We take him to the estate.
So the legend I serve was built on a lie, and she's as much a prisoner as I am.
As the bound wagon lurched toward Valdemar lands, the Ghost Master dragged Shota's mind into a vision older than the kingdom itself.
2 centuries passed. The patriarch of House Valdemar crept into our sanctum and ripped the sword from its stone. The act cursed his blood.
Shota saw the man, dark-haired and grinning, wrench the prismatic blade from a stone pedestal as lightning split the temple walls.
The spirit's silence. They were guarding this wound, not deceiving me. The Valdemars are usurpers.
A soft gasp split the vision. Reyna, riding ahead, had pressed a listening crystal to her ear and heard every word.
You lie. My family would never. Show me proof, spirits. If you have any honor, show me.
The spirits answered, thrusting the same vision into Reyna's mind. Her ancestors' theft, the curse settling like black smoke over her blood. Reyna's knees gave out. The dagger fell from her fingers as sobs racked her frame.
Everything they told me, my entire lineage, we're not reclaiming honor. We're drowning in its stain.
Now she knows. The real enemy is the man who sent her. And maybe we both want to be free.
That night, as the assassins slept in the moonlit forest, Reyna crept to Shota's bindings, the prismatic sword clutched in her trembling hands.
She's cutting me free. Those hands that earlier held a dagger now work to save me.
I can't be part of this lie anymore. Help me end the curse, Shota. Fight by my side, not as enemies.
If the sword's legend is built on a stolen curse, then we'll break it together. Lead the way.
They crept past the slumbering guards, Reyna leading Shota along forgotten deer paths until they reached a crumbling hut deep in the ancient forest. Inside, a collapsed bookcase held the secret testament of a guilty ancestor, a leather journal bound in the same dark energy as the curse. The journal's scrawl: "The curse shall bind my blood until the blade is driven into the stone of the first theft and the 1,000 souls are set free."
It means we must take the sword back to the original sanctum and willingly release every spirit. But Shota, that would destroy its power forever.
Giving up the sword means losing everything I've become. Without it, I am that trash cadet again. Can I really do that?
The spirits watched in silence. but Reyna's desperate gaze held a future unshackled by the past. The choice was his alone. For 3 days they ran, Valdemar hounds always a mile behind, until the forest gave way to jagged stone and a rain-lashed cave. Reyna's wound, a crossbow bolt that had grazed her shoulder, blackened with a foul curse. She stumbled, and Shota caught her.
Leave me. You can still reach the sanctum. My bloodline. It's not worth both of us.
I am not leaving you. Not after you freed me. We both escape this curse, or not at all.
Outside, the assassin leader's signal horn echoed. They were cornered.
The girl is fading. Let us fully inhabit your body, Shota. We will tear through them and carry her to safety.
Full possession. The spirits warned me that could bind them forever, and I might lose myself. But without it, she dies.
He looked at Reyna, breath shallow, her face pale. The sword in his hand pulsed with 1,000 desperate offers.
I can't let them make me a puppet. There has to be another way.
The Ghost Master's voice turned cold. Then watch her die, and die with her. The cave mouth darkened with assassins. Shota pressed a strip of cloth to Reyna's wound, then rose. In the flickering cave light, a memory bloomed. The Ghost Master's voice during 100 drills.
The patterns are yours, Shota. You don't need our hands to guide you. Your muscles already know. I don't need them to take over. I only need to trust what they already carved into my bones.
He stepped from the cave into the lashing rain, the prismatic blade held low. No spectral overlay, only a 19-year-old cadet and the muscle memory of 1,000 legends. The assassins charged. Shota's body sidestepped the first dagger by instinct, his own arms striking back with speed no mortal should own. A riposte from the spirit of the silent night, a bind from the retiarius. Each technique Shota had drilled, now flowing unhaunted, but a blade cut his side and a bolt grazed his leg. Shota gasped, knee buckling, yet his body rolled away before the next strike.
I am not a vessel. I am a cadet who refused to break.
The remaining assassins broke and fled into the darkness. Shota stood alone in the muddy clearing, breath ragged but alive.
Stubborn fool. You risked everything on a gambit. But perhaps we have finally taught you something worth more than our direct control.
Shota stumbled back into the cave, blood still seeping from his side. Reyna's eyes fluttered open, and she saw his wounds.
You fought them alone. You are bleeding everywhere. Why didn't you let the spirits take over?
Because I won't be their puppet, and I won't let you die. The journal, you said there might be another way.
The curse can be broken by the wielder. If you drive the sword into the sanctum stone yourself and let them all go, but that's inside the estate.
Into the heart of my enemy's power, not to fight, but to surrender the only thing that ever made me strong. Then, that's where I'll go. Not for the curse alone, but because these hands will carve my own legend without borrowed ghosts.
If that is your path, then we will guide you one last time, not as riders, but as teachers. I know ways into the estate that no assassin dares.
Reyna forced herself to stand, leaning on Shota. He tore a strip from his tunic to bind her shoulder again.
If you are walking into that manor, I am not letting you go alone. I owe my blood that much.
They slipped into the rain-soaked night, following the ghost's whispered directions, the sword's light a dying star in Shota's hand. The Valdemar estate rose under thunderheads, its black stone slick with rain. In the great hall, Lord Valdemar sneered from his throne.
The sword. At last, the glory of House Valdemar is reclaimed. Kill the boy and bring it to me.
I didn't come to fight your greed. I came to end the curse your ancestor began.
Fool. That sword is power itself, and you would throw it away? Guards, cut him down.
Blades crashed in the great hall. Shota's body remembered, A parry from the silent night, a riposte from the retiarius, the spirits guiding only as whispers. Reyna crossed blades with her father, her rapier against his heavier saber. "You used me," she cried, forcing him back. An opening, Shota sprinted for the ancient staircase the ghost had shown him. Down into the bedrock where the sanctum once lay, he burst into a chamber lit by a single crack in the stone, where a broken pedestal still held the faint stain of an ancient theft.
This is the place. Shota, whatever you do, we will not forget you.
Shota raised the sword high, its prismatic fire blazing. Then he drove it down into the stone. Light erupted, the prismatic light exploded upward like a geyser of souls. One by one, 1,000 translucent warriors spiraled out of the stone, filling the chamber with an otherworldly chorus.
I can feel them leaving. The strength I borrowed, the voices I leaned on, all draining away.
The sword's illumination died, rust swallowing the ancient steel until it was nothing but a corroded relic in his trembling grip.
Shota, you gave us more than a host. You gave us rest. Thank you, boy.
Far above, the manor shook. The black curse that had poisoned the Valdemar blood for 2 centuries shattered like glass. A dark miasma peeling away into nothing. In the great hall, Lord Valdemar collapsed, his saber clattering, his face suddenly gaunt and aged as the stolen power fled his veins.
Father, he's shriveled, like the years are catching up all at once. The curse really is broken.
The spirits drifted through the stone ceiling, a river of light ascending into the storm-racked sky, where they scattered like stars set free. Shota stumbled out of the sanctum, leaning against the wall for support. His muscles ached, his sword hand empty.
It's done. I am just me again.
Word of the Valdemar collapse had already reached the academy. Shota limped through the gates, Reyna supporting him, and Mira was the first to meet them.
Shota, the whole school is buzzing, but the sword, it's gone. What happened?
I set the spirits free. It's over.
A guard interrupted with a cold summons. The headmaster demanded Shota's presence immediately.
Without that cursed sword, you are nothing. Prove you earned your place, or be expelled. Or be expelled. A duel. Now.
Shota accepted. In the practice arena, Lorden, the Academy's top-ranked cadet, sneered at the beaten-up challenger. The bout began. Lorden's strokes were vicious and fast. Shota's plain longsword quivered, his movements clumsy.
My body remembers. I just need to trust it.
Then the ghost-taught patterns ignited. Shota's feet danced, his blade found counters that left the crowd gasping. With a rolling disarm, Lorden's sword flew. The rival gaped at empty hands. The arena erupted in a disbelieving roar. As the crowd's roar subsided, Reyna walked into the center of the practice yard, her violet eyes steady on Shota, despite the tremor in her hands.
I renounce House Valdemar. Let me serve under you, Shota, as your squire. It is all I have left.
Reyna, then walk with me. Not as a Valdemar, but as my blade.
Cadet Shota, you have silenced all doubt. You will graduate with the highest honors this academy can bestow.
Mira, Lise, and Rika rushed forward, their cheers blending with the celebratory roar.
You actually did it, Shota. Without any magical crutch.
Alone that night, Shota returned to the discarded armory where it all began, the rusted sword resting heavy in his hands. He laid it on a high shelf, a silent memento among the broken blades.
Goodbye. And thank you.
Reyna waited outside the armory. Together, they walked toward the final exam that would make him a knight. The grand hall of the academy echoed with the footsteps of cadets and the rustle of ceremonial cloaks. Sunlight streamed through the high windows.
Rise, Knight Shota. Once the lowest, now the exemplar.
Strength is not inherited from a blade, nor gifted by ghosts. It is built repetition by repetition, choice by choice.
The hall erupted in applause. Mira, Lise, and Rika, the loudest among the throng. As the ceremony ended, a royal messenger stepped forward, handing Shota a sealed document. By royal decree, Shota of Ashwood Academy is knighted, with Reyna, formerly of Valdemar, sworn as his squire. Headmaster Voss nodded from the balcony above, a silent affirmation.
No borrowed sword, no 1,000 voices, just my own 2 hands.
Side by side, Shota and Reyna passed through the academy gates, the road ahead wide and bright.
Where to now, Sir Shota? Do you ever regret giving up the Thousand Spirits sword?
Regret. I traded a borrowed legend for my own story. That's worth more than any ghost.
Reyna laughed, the sound lighter than it had ever been on the run.
Heh, you really don't miss that overwhelming power?
Not even a little.
He glanced down at his belt, where the rusted sword's sheath was conspicuously absent. The setting sun drenched the road in amber and violet, casting long shadows that stretched like fingers toward the horizon. Behind them, the Academy's towers softened into silhouettes.
The spirits are at rest, and so am I.
Then we just keep walking, Sir Shota.
They walked on, 2 figures growing smaller as the camera pulled back. The road stretched endlessly ahead, and above, the first stars pricked the purple sky. Back in the discarded armory, undisturbed among the cobwebs, the rusted sword rested on its lonely shelf. Then, a faint, warm light pulsed deep within the ancient steel. A gentle breeze, though no window was open, stirred the dust in spirals around the hilt. 1,000 quiet voices, too faint to be heard, seemed to hum in the stillness.
Well fought, Shota.
The light faded, leaving only the rusted blade as it was, ordinary and at peace. The armory fell silent again, its lingering secret known to none but the moon. A single mote of prismatic dust floated up, caught the moonbeam, and vanished. And in the distance, on a road under the first stars, a young knight walked his own path. The screen faded to black, the faintest echo of 1,000 legends still murmuring on the wind.